Hey everyone, this is Mark chapter 3. We're starting off our new gospel this week as we kick into the second of many that we have in front of us. Again, this is a Bible chapter per day, Monday through Friday. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and we're going to jump right into Mark chapter 3. Jesus entered the synagogue again, and a man was there who had a shriveled hand. In order to accuse him, they were watching him closely to see whether he would heal him on the Sabbath. He told the man with the shriveled hand, "Stand before us." Then he said to them, "Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath or to do evil, to save life or to kill?" But they were silent. After looking around at them with anger, he was grieved at the hardness of their hearts and told the man, "Stretch out your hand." So he stretched it out, and his hand was restored. Immediately the Pharisees went out and started plotting with the Herodians against him, how they might kill him. Jesus departed with his disciples to the sea, and a large crowd followed from Galilee, and a large crowd followed from Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, beyond the Jordan, and around Tyre and Sidon. The large crowd came to him because they had heard about everything he was doing. Then he told his disciples to have a small boat ready for him so that the crowd wouldn't crush him, since he had healed many. All who had diseases were pressing toward him to touch him. Whenever the unclean spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." And he would strongly warn them not to make him known. Jesus went up the mountain and summoned those he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12. Among he also named apostles, to be with him, to send them out to preach, and to have authority to drive out demons. He appointed the 12. To Simon he gave the name Peter, and to James, the son of Zebedee, and to his brother John he gave the name Boanerges, that is, sons of thunder. Andrew, Philip, and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. Jesus entered a house, and the crowd gathered again so that they were not even able to eat. When his family heard this, they set out to restrain him because they said, "He's out of his mind." The scribes who had come down from Jerusalem said, "He is possessed by Beelzebub, and he drives out demons by the ruler of the demons." So he summoned them and spoke to them in parables. "How can Satan drive out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan opposes himself and is divided, he cannot stand, but is finished. But no one can enter a strong man's house and plunder his possessions unless he first ties up the strong man. Then he can plunder his house. Truly, I tell you, the people will be forgiven for all sins and whatever blasphemies they utter. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit never has forgiveness, but is guilty of an eternal sin, because they were saying, 'He has an unclean spirit.'" His mother and his brothers came, and standing outside, they sent word to him and called him. A crowd was sitting around him and told him, "Look, your mother, your brothers, and your sisters are outside asking for you." He replied to them, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" Looking at those sitting in a circle around him, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. Whoever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother." We're already seeing how the Pharisees are continuing down that road of legalism. They, rather than saving someone, they look at the legal aspect of what the words say, and people have that today. People do the same thing. they let people go for one thing because of their political standpoints, and then they look at the other one and say, you can't do that because you're breaking the laws of whatever it may be. So it's cyclical. So we're seeing the same things in the world today, where the Pharisees, or whoever it may be, maybe it's a certain type of religion, is looking at the legal part of things, or the legalism of whatever religion it may be, instead of looking at the true character of God, of what God can do. They're keeping God inside of this fence. And when you keep God inside of that little bottle, that's not a big God without boundaries. That's an idol that you've created as yourself. So this is allowing us to break out of things and understand how culture is going to look at the Son of God and say, you're not following the rules. You're thinking like a human. Stop thinking like a human. And it will break you out of a stronghold that I believe the devil is holding you to. So I hope you enjoyed Mark chapter 3, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much.